What's going on, YouTube family? Back with another video. I just wanted to shout out my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate all the love and the support. I wanted to make a video about Symone Sanders. For those of you that don't know who Symone Sanders is she is a CNN contributor. She was the national press secretary for Bernie Sanders and his campaign. I want to read an article to you about some very offensive comments that Symone Sanders made about black men. Okay, so let's start here. So CNN contributor Symone Sanders says she's tired of black men offering up their unsolicited opinions of California Senator Kamala Harris. And now folks are tired of her. Sanders, 29 years old, voiced her frustrations on Twitter this week after 90s rapper and entertainer Uncle Luke of Two Live Crew penned an op-ed criticizing Harris's prison reform record as San Francisco's district attorney and state attorney general. Luke, whose real name is Luther Campbell, argued Harris would be hard-pressed to find many blue-collar blacks, especially men, who will be willing to vote for her in the upcoming 2020 presidential election. All right? So, if you haven't read the article, Uncle Luke, or Luther Campbell, wrote an op-ed in the Miami New Times criticizing Kamala Harris's record. I'm going to go into that a little bit, and I'm going to read what Symone Sanders said. Okay, so Kamala Harris, here's the article he wrote. Kamala Harris will have trouble persuading black voters to make her president in 2020. First, the U.S. Senator from California must explain why Donald Trump has a better prison reform record than she had as the Golden State's Attorney General. If Donald Trump has a better prison reform record than you, and you black or quote unquote a person of color, then that's highly problematic, and chances are you're not getting a black vote. But I digress. Then, so furthermore, then she'll have to overcome the perception that she'll do anything to climb to the top. On the street, many blue-collar African Americans, especially men, have already made up their minds not to vote for her. Here's why. Between 2004 and 2016, Harris worked as San Francisco's district attorney and state attorney general. She supported legislation that sent kids who skipped school to jail. So she sent kids to school for truancy, basically, for not going to school. All right, and she opposed federal supervision of California's prisons after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling declared the overcrowded facilities inflicted cruel and unusual punishment on inmates. Okay? So basically, she sent kids who didn't go to school to jail, which feeds the prison industrial complex or the school to prison pipeline. And he's calling her out on it. Okay? And she denied a proposal of federal supervision on California's prisons because they're overcrowded and inmates are being treated bad, and they're being treated with cruelty and unfair punishment. So she's in bed with private prison industries. She's in bed with the prison industrial complex. So she's helping create profits for private prisons. And who is disproportionately affected by mass incarceration? Black people are. Black youth. Okay? So, Uncle Luke is saying something right here. So I want to continue the article. Though black voters want politicians who will put away thugs and killers terrorizing the neighborhood, they don't support those who deny defendants rehabilitation and send them to prison for crimes they did not commit, just to line private prison companies' pockets. Okay? So it's all starting to make sense. Harris rose to prominence in California after an affair with married but separated former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, who recently wrote a column that mentioned their relationship. Brown said he influenced Harris's career by appointing her to 2 state commissions when he was California Assembly Speaker. he also helped her in her first race for San Francisco district attorney. So she fucked the mayor, and the mayor put her on and helped her in advancement in the government, in the state government. Okay? So she wasn't advanced based on her intelligence or her abilities or her work. She was advanced because she fucked the nigga, man. This is fucked up, man. So, when Harris, whose mother is from India, her mother is from India, okay? And father is from Jamaica, man. So she's not even African American. She's not American DOS. She's not an American descendant of slaves. She's biracial from foreigners. So she's not even black. And if you watch some of her interviews, especially the one with Jake Tapper on the CNN Town Hall, she wouldn't even admit that she's African American. She said she's a person of color. So she doesn't even self-identify with being black. So why should a black person vote for someone that has a bad record on as the state attorney general in terms of prison reform, which is the number one problem in the black community is mass incarceration. And number two, she doesn't even identify that she's one of you. Wow. So this is the kicker. Okay, so let me start over. When Harris, whose mother is from India and father is from Jamaica, decided it was time to take her talents to Washington, D.C., obviously from California, she married Douglas Emhoff, a rich white lawyer. So she married a white man. She fucked a black man for social advancement, but she married a white man. For better or worse, black men don't want to vote for a black woman who married a white man, or was the mistress of a powerful black man. So she used the black man to get into the game, to get to where she's at, and she married a white man. Keep that in mind. So here's what Symone Sanders wrote about Uncle Luke's opinions on the presidential hopeful Senator Kamala Harris. She said she's tired of black men offering up their unsolicited opinions of California Senator Kamala Harris. Okay? Sanders, 29, voiced her frustrations on Twitter this week after 90s rapper and entertainer Uncle Luke of Two Lion Crew penned up an op-ed criticizing Harris's prison reform record as San Francisco's district attorney and state attorney general. Luke, whose real name is Luther Campbell, argued Harris would be hard-pressed to find many blue-collar blacks, especially men, who will be willing to vote for her in the upcoming 2020 presidential election. Okay? So basically, Symone Sanders said that she's tired of black men. Notice how she singled out black men. Okay? And she didn't say black people, black women, or black people. She said black men. And she said offering up their unsolicited or unwanted opinions. In other words, black men, your opinions only matter regarding sports, regarding entertainment, regarding comedy. You're not smart enough to enter in the political discourse or offer your opinions on politics. That should be left up to educated black women or the white man. Black man, your opinion don't matter. So shut the fuck up. That's basically what she's saying. Okay? In her tweet. Okay. So then she went deeper than that. Sanders, a former national press secretary for Vermont Independent, Bernie Sanders, didn't take too kindly to Campbell's critique on Harris and says she didn't see why he or any other black man, for that matter, felt obligated to give their negative opinions. Because it's an opinion. That's why, Symone. Everybody doesn't think the same. Everybody has different opinions. Okay? Uncle Luke may not be feeling her. Uncle Luke may have a different view of her. See, when the white corporate media employ these really smart, educated black people to control the masses of black people, they get mad because now they're panicking because black people are starting to wake up to the game. Okay? We had 8 years of Obama. Ain't do shit for the black community. I like Obama personally, but I don't like Obama as a president. Obama didn't do shit for the black community. You know what I'm saying? He came, got our votes, ain't do shit. Okay? So we're not trying to be bamboozled again, and we're seeing through Kamala Harris and her bullshit. Okay? So then Symone Sanders said, Uncle Luke is no political mastermind or strategist. There go another condescending, another condescending comment that she made. Like, basically, like I said, black men, you're not smart enough to engage in political discussion. Stick to basketball, stick to football, stick to comedy. But when it comes to politics, leave it up to educated black women or white people. This is so fucking disrespectful. What other race of women do you know that tear down their men? Or say that they're not smart enough? Or that their opinions don't matter? Or shut the fuck up? How many other races of women do you know do that other than black women? Not all black women, but women like Symone Sanders who don't respect black men. Who don't respect black men's opinions. Okay? Symone, everybody has a right to their opinion. You may disagree with their opinion, but you don't have to go on your Twitter and put him down and put his intelligence down like that. You know how black men are treated, how black men's opinions aren't valued in America anyway. So you as a black woman who's educated and knows how the black experience is, for you to say that is so fucked up. But you're a gatekeeper. I get it. You and Angela Rye, Bakari Sellout, Michael Eric Dyson are all gatekeepers of the Democrats, for black people to follow and vote for the Democrats. We're not feeling Kamala Harris. She's not going to get the black vote. Look at her record. Look at what she supported. She fueled the school to prison pipeline. She did nothing in terms of prison reform, in terms of African Americans. She did nothing. She slept with the mayor to get to where she's at. She didn't do any work. So we can see right through the bitch, and we're not supporting her. So you, Angela Rye, Bakari Sellers, all of y'all need to get the fuck over it, because we're not voting for her. She's never going to be president. So basically, just to finish up the article, it wasn't long before social media critics called out Sanders for her comments, accusing the political analyst of weaponizing her gender to belittle the political opinions of African American men. She's doing the work of white people for white people. And let me just read you a couple of the comments here. These are funny. So here's a comment. Unsolicited. Obviously, it was unsolicited. It's in the paper. So this is a journalist and talk show host Tim Black replied, Luke doesn't own the paper. Men can speak, Symone. I know you rather we didn't, unless it supports your opinions. Speech is available to us all, not just MSNBC contributors like you who weaponize gender. Wow. Here's another one. He has an opinion, and his political mind doesn't invalidate that. Another critic chimed in. The majority of voters aren't political masterminds. So everybody's not a political mastermind. Symone Sanders definitely isn't one because she was a part of a failed campaign, Bernie Sanders. So basically, the Democrats are using the Angela Ryes, the Symone Sanders, to brainwash you, to keep you, to tell you how to think, to tell you how to vote, to tell you who you should support, and not do your own research into their record to see who the candidate really is, who finances the candidate, what is the candidate's agenda, what is their black agenda, what do they stand for, what are their issues. They just want you to vote for her because she's black. They just want you to vote for Cory Booker because he's fucking black. Nah, but we're not falling for that trap no more. Because, again, we got bamboozled with Obama, and we ain't going through that shit again. So, no, Kamala Harris, we ain't feeling you. You need to get the fuck out of here. Cory Booker, get the fuck out of here. We're not voting for y'all, okay? And we're not rushing bots because we are down with the American DOS, okay? We're waking up, and we're becoming more united. And these fucking black Democrats are getting scared, and they're panicking. And they do bullshit like Symone Sanders. So that's all I got to say. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. I appreciate all the love. Drop a comment. Thank you for allowing me to share my views. Have a good evening.